Hi everyone, back today with another video, like a market update sort of video to prompt you to go and collect things from the auction house if you need to. The prices are really going up at the moment. It's really going up very fast. The materials, enchanting in particular, has almost doubled some of the enchanting mats. Some of them have even tripled. So if you've been hoarding things, it could be a good idea to think about offloading some of that if that was your intention. You could always wait for the start of season two. There could be a spike then, but I think prices will remain fairly consistent between the spike at the end of this season and the first spike at the beginning of next season. You probably also noticed from that mailbox open, I have sold a lot of the recipes from the Dark Moon Fair. I'm almost out of those. Next time I'll definitely be prioritizing those over the pets. But the pets are selling, so are the Lovers in the Air Fair pets, so that they are still making gold. It is just taking a little while to list them, and that's just the nature of selling pets. The auction house is also doing something else interesting, and you'll see it in this video. Enchants are selling almost faster than I can make them, particularly the ones for the formulas you have to purchase. And I've purchased those a while ago, and I wouldn't be surprised if the price of that goes up now. I think what we're seeing is an influx of people who are returning for season two and preparing for the raids that are upcoming. So they're gearing their alts, they're making sure their enchants are on and things like that. So enchants are selling fun. Like I said, in particular, the ones you have to purchase, the formulas you need to purchase or get from a world drop if you're lucky enough. And I'm making a lot of gold. In this video, I make 82,000 gold just listing these auctions. And the competition on these purchased formulas is much lower than the competition you get from the enchants. So I think that there's definitely an opportunity there for the people who already have those formulas. And if you don't, consider buying it. I know it's a big gold outlay, but it pays itself off. Like, you make that gold back really quickly. And I think with the start of season two, once that actually rolls over, once people start getting the gear from the new raids, there'll be another big boom there for enchants. So it's definitely a really good time to take advantage of return players. And maybe if you have an enchanter, now might be the time to think about selling some of those enchants. And it's not just the gold level enchants you see here. Most of my gold on the auction house here doing silver level enchants, the Chant of Winged Grace and the Defender's Boots or something to that effect. They're silver level. I did sell a gold level one, but the silver ones are what's making me the most gold right now. So you don't even have to be making these with concentration. In regards to other professions like tailoring, we're starting to reach a weird peak where the materials are costing more than what it takes to make the actual item. And I think what we're seeing here is an imbalance of people who have been hoarding at those lower prices, able to sell those items still at that competitive rate. I think if you just wait it out, you can see I cancel my bags in this video because the gold, the profit on it was just like 50 gold or something like that. I've taken the listing of my bags off, and for the last couple of weeks I've been making loads of gold with bags, don't get me wrong, but I think at the moment what we're waiting for is a market stabilization, and in terms of waiting for people to run out of those cheaper materials or to catch on to the fact that because those materials are more expensive now, they can be listing those items for more and increasing that profit margin. Sometimes I'm not sure what people's brains are doing. Like, it's good to be the first one in the line in terms of selling things. But if you're selling something for 500 gold that you could be selling for 1,000 gold with just the same amount of competition as you currently have, why not do it that way? I don't understand. Perhaps somebody can inform me as to why people run like that in the comments. I've also noticed that the PvP gear I make on my tailor has spiked. I'm not selling as much of that as I usually do. So I'm not sure if this spike is a positive thing or not. I think some people are trying to prey on FOMO, maybe, in the sense of returning players being afraid they won't be geared up in time for battlegrounds and things like that. But I am finding since the price spike, and you can see here some of them spiked quite dramatically, something like 10,000 gold a thing. Since then, I've been selling much less of them. So I'm not sure what the aim here is. It's possible I'm just getting undercut. I've been not spending as much time playing WoW the last couple of weeks because I've launched my audiobook on YouTube, and I'll put a link in the description for anybody interested. It's just for my author career, so if you're not interested, that's fine. It's just a fantasy book. But the launch of that has been taking a lot of my attention, so I've been spending lots of time focusing on that instead of on the auction house. And it's possible I'm just getting undercut, and perhaps they are selling at that higher level and I'm just missing out by not being first in the line. But I am struggling to get those things to sell. We are getting very close to the start of season 2, which comes out March 4th. So I think the auction house is going to be incredibly volatile between now and then, as we just see a surge in returning players, but also a surge of people who have been hoarding things. And I think it's going to be just largely unpredictable. I think there will be a general upwards trajectory for most things on the auction house, at least for a short time. But I think in terms of what standard in making gold will fluctuate drastically. Like these silver enchants you can see here, some of them are selling faster than I can list them. And these do usually sell, but I'm making on one of them a 500 gold profit margin. And that's really good for a silver level enchant. And for them to be selling as fast as they are is really good, but it's unusual. And I think if you take the time to either watch the videos where I tell you what's going on, but if you also spend some time on the auction house and just have a look at what's changed, don't forget to consider some of those lower level enchants. I know we've all, not all of us, a lot of us have a concentration build, and that makes loads of gold, and it really does. On Great Vault Day, I can make 50,000 to 70,000 gold in just making those concentrate enchants. And that's it. I just make the gold level things. I list them on the auction house. I run away. I come back. I've made a bunch of gold. But to be making, and you see here in this video, I make 80,000 gold here. But to be making that on the silvers is really quite unusual. So definitely go and check it out. And don't just assume because you're out of concentration that you're out of the game until your concentration builds back up. Because like I said, I made 82,000 gold here selling silver level. So we're in a unique position at the moment where you can make a lot of gold off your professions while capitalizing on the people who are coming back, returning to play season 2 and having missed out on that ability to get these things slowly. So you will notice in this video, I am still stockpiling things. You'll see me swap out of the selling items and check the auction house for the things that are cheap that I use a lot of, which are the tinder boxes and the vial of oils and other things along those lines. I use a lot of those in the enchants, and at the moment they're cheap. I don't know if the price for those are going to bounce back up, but we're seeing like about 100 gold to 150 gold discount per item at the moment. I do think that we'll see a spike in demand in the beginning of season 2. So having a bunch of those in your bank ready to make those enchants at the cheaper price is a good idea. If you can afford to buy the materials, the regions when they're cheaper, you will make more gold when that big spike happens. And I think we're moving towards the big spike now. The only thing I'm not sure about is how long it will last for. I'm relatively sure it will last into the beginning of season 2 when people start getting those new crests and they want new enchants and things like that. So I think that the spike will be sustained for a little while. I just don't know how long for. If you want to speculate with me, drop it in the comments and we'll see if we can make a list of how long we think this will go for, and the winner gets bragging rights that I mentioned in a video. So put those down in the comments if you think you know when the auction house will return to a plateau in terms of where the prices level off. Somebody in the comments requested that I make a video showing you my tailoring and enchanting builds and talk about what I would do if I got a chance to change what I've specialized in. And those videos are coming, crafting your profession talents one time with the upcoming season. So I'll make those videos soon. Be sure to check back if that's something you're interested in and what I even might change, because there are a couple of areas I wish I'd put talent points into, but I'm at a point now where I need to be accumulating those talent points to do that. But if I could reset it, there are talent points I've got in just useless avenues that could really help me maximize the amount of gold I'm making. So those videos are coming. I just wanted to give a special shout out to my members, Heretic666, Hello Be Thy Game, Brit Malaka, and Psycho Teddy. I hope you guys are enjoying this, getting this content early. And let me know in the comments if it's making any difference for you guys. Are you able to action these and make gold before everybody else gets it? And what are you doing to stockpile for season 2? I never thought I'd enjoy sitting on the auction house the way I have at the end of this season. I've just made an insane amount of gold, considering how absent I've been from the game for the last week. I've really not had much time at all to play with that launch I was telling you about earlier. But I've really enjoyed the auction house time. I'm really surprised by that. So if you're somebody who's just not given it a go, maybe just try it. You might be surprised. So, if anybody's curious, this was 40 minutes of me sitting on the auction house while I was having a coffee and just checking through emails and comments and things like that. Just doing work stuff really while I was sitting on the auction house. So, this is about 40 minutes of sales if anybody's curious about the time frame there. So, I think that's really all I have to say for this video. So, I hope you found something enjoyable. Give it a like and a subscribe if you did. And as always, remember, girls don't play WoW.